tomorrow is the 25th running of the Beach to Beacon, which was what got Shipyard into sponsoring road races. And at the end of that race, we serve Shipyard beer to all the runners that want it, and also Captain Eli's soda to people that want that as well. And it's become a tradition. It was about 26 years ago, I got a call from Joni Benoit Samuelson, introduced herself, and said, do you know, have you heard of me? I said, of course I know who you are. And long story short, she's the one that got us into running and sponsoring race events, and tomorrow is the 25th running of the Beach to Beacon, which was what got Shipyard into sponsoring road races. And at the end of that race, we serve Shipyard beer to all the runners that want it, and also Captain Eli's soda to people that want that as well, and it's become a tradition. Today I'm talking with Cam Goodwin, race director for the Peaks Island five miler, right?
That's right.
And your uncle, John Pearson, has run it for 30 years. And we have the Inn on Peaks Island, which we've owned for close to 20 years now. So for probably close to 20 years, we've been sponsoring this amazing race. Last night, I was at the showing of Joni Benoit's, it was a celebration of her 40 years from winning the gold at LA at the first women's marathon. It was truly amazing. Very excited because I emailed Cam at 3:30 this morning and I said, is there a way you can get me a t-shirt that I could give to Joni Benoit, or actually trade her, because she says she doesn't take shirts as a gift. She'll trade a shirt that she's run a race in, but she won't just take a shirt. So she fell in love with this shirt because I was wearing it at the event last night. And so Cam emailed me back and said, yeah, I have a shirt for her. And was it a success this year?
It was a terrific year, yeah. We just had it last week, and this is my third year directing it. And this was the most people we've ever had at the race. We had over 600 for the 5 mile race and about 75 kids for the short kids run we do before the 5 mile. And I can tell you that most people's favorite part is afterwards, when they can go have a Shipyard beer and a lobster roll. That's what gets them through the 5 miles on a hot July day on Peaks Island.
The fun thing about a lot of businesses is the family connection. I grew up and I knew your aunt, Kim, and I got to know John, who's a great guy, and that was really special. And every year they would have a t-shirt designed, and what was funny there is Jane Monahan, who was a good friend in high school as well, was the designer. But your family connection and the special part of you being now the race director connected to your uncle and that side of it, to me, is kind of special. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, so John ran the race, directed the race for a really long time, and he decided he wanted to hand it off, and it was really important to him to keep it in the family. He knew I had run the race. I started running the race when I was 18, and I ran it 4 or 5 times. He knew I loved the sport, so he talked to me about whether I wanted to take it over. I said absolutely, without hesitation. And we did, in 2021, we co-directed it so that he could kind of teach me the ropes and show me how to do things, which was hugely instrumental. There's no way I would have been able to figure out all that on my own. Yeah. And I still have him as a resource. We still talk about the race all the time, how things are going, whether I have any questions.
Peaks Island, it's just a unique community, and I don't think there's many places like it in the world, really. But so I'm really happy it's going well, and it's to benefit Main Track. Where do some of the proceeds go? Yeah,
so Main Track Club is a big sponsor of the race. The race goes through the Main Track Club, so they get a piece, and then most of our proceeds go back to the island. We usually donate money to the Peaks Island School. We donate to the Lions Club, and as well as a few other nonprofits on the island. So we typically, on a good year, which it's looking like this year is going to be, we typically donate $7 to $8 grand back to the island or so.
And the Islanders participate. They give water. They do cheer people on. It's really, really an amazing, fun experience. And I'm excited. You're going to run the race tomorrow. It's a 9 mile race, and my daughter Desiree, her husband now, years ago said to me, you ought to run this race. I actually said, well, if Desiree runs it, I'll run it. And he goes, that was a mistake, because she already lost a bet with me and she's going to run it. So we went up there and ran that race. So that point I became a runner, because at the end of it we finished with beer at at the FX Matt Brewery, and they did such a great job with it that Bruce and I both said, listen, someday we're going to do that. And we have the Old Port Half Marathon that we do in Portland in the June, and then in the fall we're doing the Wicked 10K and 5K in Kennebunk, and then we're doing a Santa Dash, which we've done for a few years now. And then in Florida, we've gotten into the Key West half marathon and marathon, which I guess is every once in a while a group of Mainers will go down there, and we'll see them at the finish line with beer. So one of the unique races, and one I would say to you to run, is the Skyway 10K in St. Pete, Florida. Okay. They've raised over $3 million, much different market. They've raised over $3 million for military families in Florida and around the country. They do projects for military families, and we have given away anywhere from 20 to 30 kegs at the end of the race, and it's
that's fantastic.
it finishes at the Tropicana Field, starts and finishes at Tropicana, goes over the Skyway Bridge. You go over in a bus, and then they bring you back from the finish line. And I've done that 3 times, which was just a great experience because you're doing it sunrise over the bridge and coming down. But I mean, it's really special to run the Beach to Beacon. I've done it probably 6 or 7 times, and the relationship with Joan and the relationship with all the people that volunteer, and you've got your share of those people, and there seem to be like a lot of new people running. But what was funny was I looked over behind when you were giving out the T-shirts out there. I took a picture, and there was a group of everybody over 65, I think, running the race.
Yeah.
There must have been 20 or 30 of them.
That's a good number. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about this race is once people run it, they keep running it. They keep coming back year to year because they love it so much. And we definitely do have a big share above 65, which is great. They have their own group that sponsors, and I think even they all transport together out to the island. And
so how do people find out about it for next year? How do they register? Is there a website, or is there a Facebook page, or what is it?
Yeah, so we have a website through Run Sign Up. If you just Google Peaks Island Road Race, you'll be able to find it right away. Registration every year opens on March 1st. Only 200 people get T-shirts. So the first 200 to register are the only people who actually get T-shirts. So it's important to register early. You'll see in March, you'll see huge numbers, and then a little bit of a drop off once people realize they're not getting these great shirts. Yeah. Well,
listen, I really appreciate you stepping up and taking over the race, and appreciate you coming over this morning, and have a great race tomorrow. And it's a fun one. I hope you have fun doing it.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for everything Shipyard does for the Peaks race. It's a huge help.